turn it off then. Alrighty, everyone, let's continue onward here as we settle on in, as we basically set up the stage for your First Alert forecast update. I'm WIS First Alert meteorologist Tony Chiavaroli. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for settling in with us, because it is going to be a bit more of a change of pace as the weekend draws closer. We've been updating you all throughout the morning on TV, but now we're continuing to give you a little bit more of just an in-depth look as we've seen some rounding out, some slight little differences in the forecast with more storm potential projected now to Saturday. That's been the big thing all week. We've seen rain projected into the weekend, but now storm potential looks to be there. We have all the ingredients necessary to get more of that threat, and I'm going to be talking about it with you. So hope it's been, again, a good morning for you so far. Not too busy. We've been trying to break free from clouds, fog, everything thrown out our way this morning. It's not going to be a nice blue sky type of Friday, but let's see this out right now, because as we, of course, go onward into what will be the beauty of a drier day, it's not going to be the case for tomorrow. We're going to be seeing some of these differences as we round things out. We're going to be overall seeing a little bit more of these changes. Rain activity, storms, we could see some isolated flooding in spots. Got to watch out for that as we look on to the next big thing, and that has always been Saturday. At least, of course, we're still rounding out with some dryness now, but that rain threat is coming soon, and it can be as early and often as 4 a.m., very early, getting into that Saturday start. The only positive there is a lot of folks are in bed at that point. Not everyone's starting out their Saturday at 4 a.m., but either way, it's just going to be something that will continue to total up as we look onward. So we go through this 3-day process again. No consistency with our First Alert forecast. 3 different parts. Clouds build in today. We get to that activity with rain and storms tomorrow. Need to be weather aware for that. And then Sunday, we get cooler air and sunshine. So 3 very different days as we round out the end of this week. Let's keep into the future cast now, because as we go through what's going to happen today, clouds shroud up the skies. We're not going to see a drastic increase in temperatures. I went with 69 degrees for that high today. A couple of pokes of sun early, which is nice, but that's not going to be the case as the day continues on. We're eventually going to get a little bit of light misting potential as we round out the late afternoon, getting into the early evening, and that is going to be something that, of course, will work to settle in and then start to really spill over. Actual moisture moving in, large area of low pressure, rain into that early morning phase of Saturday, and I'm going to stop it right here. As I said, starts as early as around 4 in the morning, but we're starting to see a little bit more of that convective threat, 5 to 6. This, of course, when, some folks could be trying to get an early jump on the weekend, perhaps hitting the road for early travels, going towards the upstate. Obviously, got the SC, the South Carolina women, got the SEC tournament up that way, maybe going to a beach trip. There's a lot of reasons folks could be heading out early on a Saturday, and you need to continue to be thinking about these travels, because it can be very tricky with the heavy rounds of rain that aren't going to stop until we get a little bit later into the day. All right. Now, as we round this out and we go through, we can see some little breaks of dryness in this system. But the thing is, as that all is happening, we're still going to be getting the capacity for storms. One thing I need to always remind you guys of, the Futurecast is not always going to give you a perfect view of what's going to happen. It's just going to have the best guess, essentially, more of a blend of a lot of different weather models and data. So this is, still a pretty good look, because at least it's showcasing some pinpointed areas of precipitation, and that looks to be the case getting later into Saturday. We lose the heavy rain threat in a widespread sense, but what we're going to have here now, as you're going out and about for your day, you're thinking, oh, okay, it's fine, I'm getting outside now, it's going to be okay, we're not going to see much in the way of any problems anymore because the rain's gone. No, we can actually still see this. Some isolated strong storms that can flare up while a cold front pushes through, and that's with drier and cooler air working to take over. So you still need to be on your toes. Even if you're trying to recover some of those Saturday afternoon plans, you can, because there'll be sun out there, but there is the capacity of storms to flare up again, and with the potential for them to be strong to severe, you have to be careful with that. So go on into Saturday with that caution. Even though you can still have the ability to see sun later in the day, even some low 70s, you can get storms to flare up again. We're not just going to see everything during that morning activity. Please be mindful of that. Going late overnight into the evening hours as well, of course, for Saturday, we see that dry air eventually overtake that air mass, say, see you later, get out of here, bring on that sunshine, because we have it for Sunday with cooler temperatures. A lot of highs in the mid-60s for Sunday, but at least it's going to be with a nice blue sky type of day. It is going to be a beautiful one, so we can look all forward to that after, of course, what can still be that shakeup for our Saturday outlook. And that's, of course, going to give us, a good little change of pace as we look onward, because it's just 3 very different days. We recap again today. Love to throw in that national holiday when I can. Very obscure one sometimes. It is National Peanut Cluster Day, if you didn't know. Maybe you love a snack or sweet treat like this. Well, if you do, you can enjoy that indoors or outside, honestly, if you want, because it's not going to be too damp today. A little bit of that light misting possible later, just some cloudy skies in the upper 60s. Now, for Saturday, you have to watch out. We've talked about this so much already. The main rain threat widespread will be into early Saturday morning. Then we see that storm threat in an isolated capacity for the afternoon. Pinpointed, not widespread, but pinpointed for the afternoon. Still something you've got to watch out for. You don't want to get caught off guard if you see some breaks of sun. You think we're just going to dry out for the rest of the day, because no, it can still be an active weather pattern. It's a first alert weather day for that reason. And of course, getting updates on the WIS First Alert Weather app, always going to be good when we're talking about these threats. Because Saturday, there's so many events going on, and some things to get pushed back, postponed. We've already seen the Lexington Shamrock Parade now get postponed until the 17th. That was supposed to go on tomorrow afternoon in Lexington. So, we're going to see a lot of event officials starting to take heed of these forecasts and start to think about, all right, what's going on and what is going to be the best for the safety of people outside. Sunday, anything going on here, it's going to be beautiful. We're going to be rolling on forward with a little bit more of these conditions as we work to set the stage, and we eventually work to see a little bit more of still what is going to be, a lot of beauty out there. So this is still something I want to make sure, again, we're keeping onward with, and we're not, of course, changing pace too much. We're going to see a little bit more in the way of just that rain activity rolls its way forward for Saturday, starts to break up a little bit. And with all of that, it's still going to be something I want to make sure, again, we're going on into this with. It's just going to be that nice change. We can calm down. We're looking better into your Sunday, and obviously beyond in the week ahead. So we're going to focus on to, of course, more tranquil weather. But until we get to that point, you still need to be careful with your Saturday travels, anything in terms of being out and about, because we can see some of that storm threat after our morning rain threat. Appreciate you again listening to this forecast for the morning. I'm hoping you're just continuing to heed these warnings, being safe, being smart as we are going onward and upward, getting through the rest of this week and weekend.